WYMT Mountain Student Achiever is sponsored.
Last season, Clay County was winless in district play, but oh, what a difference one season makes. The Tigers are 4-0 and can complete the 180 with a win over Harlan County Friday night. We sat down with Tigers coach Shannon Arnett, where he says his kids are ready for the Black Bears.
We've got as many seniors this year as we did the previous 2 years combined, and they're all great athletes and good football players. And I think the big thing is, if you followed us at all this year in the past, whenever we would get down, something bad would happen, we would tend to fold our tents and pack it in. But this year, we've had some adversity during games, and we've always answered. And it says a lot about these seniors and what they've been able to lead us to do. I think their nickname is the Filthy Animal Defense, and that's very fitting. Our kids, their kids get after you. And that's not only on defense. Our kids get after you on offense, defense, special teams. I don't care what it is. They play at a level of intensity that it's hard for most high school teams to maintain for 4 quarters. And that's going to be one of the bigger tests right now is if we can just match their intensity for 4 quarters. You can't really coach it. It comes down to heart and desire and pride in that jersey you're wearing on your back, and that name on the front of it, and it mattered to you, and it being the most important thing, is to go out and do my best, and to do whatever it takes to win a ball game. If that means throwing my body in there and taking a lick I know it's going to hurt, but I'm going to do it anyway because that's what it takes to win the game. And we're going to go in the same game plan. We've got some good runners. Our quarterback can run, or we got C.J. Miller and Noah Reed back there. Both can run the ball. It's hard for one man to bring either one of them down. So hopefully we can just get a body on a body up front and do what we do offensively. And we don't want to change our philosophy and say, we got to throw it to win the game. We're going to come out and try to run the football. And that says something when you got kids that you can lose a starter and somebody else is going to step up and make a play. It says a lot about your program and about the type of kids that you have. And I admire Harlan. You don't have nothing but respect for their program. And Coach Larkin. You wouldn't think otherwise with the success he had at Rockhouse. But he's building the same type of program right there. And it's going to be a battle Friday night. And get after them as hard as they're getting after us, And I think that's something, I'm not predicting a win by any means. It's going to be a battle, I think. If we go over and play our best, it's going to be a battle. If we go over there and don't show up at full go, we could get embarrassed just like what happened last week with Perry Central, So, we just have to go over there and play our game and, and be sound in our defense and, not give up the big plays. All that you ever hear about Clay County is the negatives, so just to have something positive and for me and our coaches and these kids, to be a part of something positive here and to try to maybe change the perception of Clay County a little bit, it would be huge for us. And then, when you get onto the athletic side of the sport, the football part of it, to be home in the playoffs and, all that, but that's all secondary to what it would do for this town as far as just bringing some positive press, for one time.
We talked about the physical play of Harlan County. When we talk about Clay County, we talk about some of the different athletes they have, Design, Hooker, Reed, and Miller, and John Wilson, quarterback. But I think what gets underrated sometimes is how physical the Clay County Tigers can actually be. And we've seen that a couple times this year. They can line up and smack you in the face. Coach says, we're going to try and run it. I really can't wait for that matchup in the trenches. That's going to be a fun one.
It's going to be power versus power, especially on the offensive and defensive lines. It'll be who wins that. We hear it's a cliche term. Whoever wins the battle in the trenches will win the game. But that may be it. But it also may be the battle of turnovers. Whoever can get the most turnovers will also win the game. But one thing we want to mention, and I said it earlier, is you got to look at the district, and a tight district that's usually unpredictable. Harlan County, 3 years of his existence, has not won a district title. Clay County hasn't won a district title since '92. Arnett talks about how important it is to have a district title, have something positive for Clay County. Coach Larkey talks about how much it builds up the program, considering that they're just starting to put the pieces together and to try to build a dynasty in Harlan County. Very important game Friday night.
Obviously for both, as you said, both programs, and the people in Harlan County, boy, if you don't think they won a district title, you don't know them. That's all I'm going to say. I know enough people down there are calling me saying, we're going to win a district title. And you're right, Clay County wants it too. So there's going to be a lot of pride on the line, besides just simply the fact of getting a home district playoff game as number 1 seed.
Exactly. The other cliche term, it's who wants it more. But coming up on the Double Quick Prep Zone Weekly Show, we will preview some of the other key games going on in the WYMT coverage area, as well as go inside several locker rooms and wire it up.